All right, let's talk about Secret Six, issue number 1. Shh, but remember, keep it a secret. So, Secret Six, issue 1 picks up after the events of Absolute Power with Jon Kent, aka Superman, Super Son, Superman Jr., whatever you want to call him, dealing with what happened to him and what Amanda Waller did to Jon as he's fighting Bizarro. He is one of the I think he's one of the villains that broke out of prison, and he's trying to get him, you know, not to not hurt people and stuff. And he has this big, pretty awesome fight with Jon Kent here. And we move on to a character I really didn't know nothing about, named Dreamer, right there. Dreamer, and we have this. She has this dream of, she's getting the surgery done, and she ends up basically having this nightmare of her friends trying to kill her, and she has this dream that Amanda Waller has basically escaped from prison. After Jon is done fighting Bizarro, he ends up going home to his boyfriend named Jay, who's also a superhero, and they end up having kind of a spat because Jay is very much obsessed with Waller because Waller's basically responsible for the death of his mother and I guess the destruction of his nation. And they have this kind of this little spat back and forth about what they're gonna do and whatnot. It seems very tumultuous almost. But who happens to show up? Dreamer herself, and Dreamer's like, hey, Amanda Waller has escaped from prison. So what do the three do? The three get into some magical costumes because they have this weird costume change right in the middle of this. And they end up going to Belle Reve prison to find out where Amanda Waller actually is. While at the prison, they try to get in. Luckily, I believe Jon's Justice League membership ends up working, and they end up going into the prison trying to find out that some of the guards don't want the three in the prison, and hijinks ensue. And we end up meeting up with one of the other members of Secret Six, which is Black Alice. And Black Alice is basically like, hey, you take me with you, I'll help you out, and I'll tell you where exactly Amanda Waller is. Things kind of don't go that well, and we end up finding out that Dreamer ended up dream walking into people and actually killing somebody, like teleporting through their dreams into reality. So she doesn't really want to use her powers that much, but alas, the guards are getting the best of these three young superheroes, and they end up taking Black Alice with them. And she's like, hey, I have a place we can go. Where they end up? The original Secret Six's headquarters. And they dream walk through Catman's head with Deadshot being, what the hell is going on? And that's how this comic ends. All right, so let's take a look at the artwork in this issue. Here is your creative team right here. The artwork in this first issue actually is very well done. I feel like definitely fits the style of the tone of this particular series. Everybody has is very well distinguished in their appearance, so nobody gets confused, I feel like, with who anybody actually is. I feel like the action scenes are actually very well, the action and dramatic scenes, I feel like, are actually very well portrayed art-wise in this particular issue. You definitely get a sense of almost like an anime-esque feel when it comes to some of the character designs for the most part. But where this I feel like truly shines is honestly towards the ending of this issue, when they're actually in the prison, when we end up meeting Black Alice and everything goes awry and they have to fight their way out of prison and whatnot. This part actually I feel like is very well done art wise. And then we get the climactic part where we might walk through Catman's head and he might be dead. Alright, so I kind of want to choose my words wisely when talking about this. One, I am a big fan of the Gail Simone run of Secret Six. I picked this up because I enjoy the Secret Six. I think it's one of the best superhero team books around. There's a reason why a lot of people really like it. And I feel like they kind of used this as almost sort of as a cash grab to get people to buy it in a sense. This issue does do a very good job of getting you up to speed about what happened with Jay, Jon, and then Dreamer. I feel like it does do that in a sense. So I wasn't 100% confused about who exactly these characters were. I did like the fact that Jon very much dealt with his PTSD about what happened to him with Amanda Waller and the Brainiac Queen, I believe it is. I do have to say that's some one thing I did actually like about this, and the action was actually very well done as well. The action parts in this issue were done very well. I have to say, not knowing much about these three characters, who are mostly the focal point of this issue, I kind of feel like they could have been better utilized in their own book and not the Secret Six. I think it's good to develop new heroes going forward, for the DC Universe and stuff like that. I don't know if it works really well with the Secret Six. There are things that I did like about it was Jon and stuff like that. His relationship with Jay, and Jay seems kind of like almost like an anti-hero-ish kind of in this situation, because he really definitely doesn't care for Dreamer and stuff like that. He wants to kill her because of what she did in a Suicide Squad miniseries, which led up to Absolute Power. Where I feel like this also kind of comes short is the fact that Catman, Deadshot, and Black Alice are barely used in this first issue. Now, moving forward, I hope they play a more prominent part in this. I think it's a miniseries, if I remember correctly. I hope they play a more prominent part in this. Feels more like a Secret Six series going forward. One thing I didn't really actually like about it is Dreamer herself. I did a little research afterwards, and I found out that Dreamer was a character in the Supergirl TV show, and the actress playing her is transgender, or them. I guess you say them or they is transgender, and they end up writing have been writing the Dreamer character in the comic books. It very much kind of feels like a self-insert character in a sense, and she seems probably a little too important. I feel like you're kind of forcing her into this team, which I don't 100% feel like it works, to be honest. Now, I will give this issue or this miniseries another chance. Maybe it just had a bad start. So I am kind of looking forward to see how, the villains play a part in this and what Amanda Waller is actually doing, and, what are they actually going after in this sense, and how it affects these new young heroes moving forward. I kind of like that in a sense. I know I might kind of be a little bit contradicting myself, I feel like, but yeah, it didn't 100% hit it out of the park for me. It was just kind of like right down the middle in a sense. It was just okay. But I honestly kind of hope it gets better. And maybe reading going forward, I might fall in love and actually enjoy reading more about these new young superheroes that I've been introduced to in this issue. But let me know your thoughts down below. You picking this up? You're not picking it up? Let me know. Give me your thoughts. I'm Otaku Mike. Catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.